Welcome there, welcome to the Tomb of Illumination, where we discuss a lot of things. If you've ever been here before, you might want to check out my videos. If you like this video, you might want to be checking out some others. This video is about the black hole of creation. So this video is about the physics of our realm, the flat earth version that you're not told, and basically simplifying physics compared to the garbage they teach your children at school. So I'll just get into it. I've got 4 pages here. So, the black hole of creation and the dual forces that come together create the black hole. These are known as counter forces, but actually spin in the same direction. How can this be, you may ask? Because they are coming in from opposing ends. You know the globe story about looking to the south and we see the rotation going clockwise. You look to the northern hemisphere, it's going anti-clockwise. Apparently that makes you think you live on a ball. But when they merge and you look straight up, shouldn't you just see one rotation? No. So it's a bit like that. You've got one rotation going anti-clockwise and one going clockwise, but when they come together, they're actually moving in the same direction. Like our celestial bodies coming from in the southern hemisphere, from the southeast swing around to go west. In the northern hemisphere they come from the northeast, swing around and go through the west. So they both end up coming through in a westerly direction. It's the same as the black hole, because the black hole is the black hole of creation, so of course it's going to be the same. Everything in our realm comes from there. So I'm going to try and break it all down for you. Because they're coming in from opposing ends, look in one direction, the spin is counterclockwise, but look in the other direction, the spin is clockwise. But when they meet, they are both spinning in the same direction. This is exactly how our celestial bodies move over our earth. But before I get into this motion, we need to understand that these two forces are avoiding each other. They are drawn together by the nucleus, which is the sun, and the black hole, because the sun sits on the horizon of the black hole. In turn, the sun is created by this convergence of the two forces of nature. The created sun at this convergence sits on the horizon of the black hole. The two forces have created a spin, and at the core of the spin is the black hole. So the two forces have come together like this, basically spiraling through each other, past each other, but at this connecting point is bang where the sun is created. So this spin in the core centre is the black hole. So it's the core centre of the Milky Way, and at the junction point where the two forces meet is what we call the black hole, and the sun is on its horizon. The two forces have created a spin, and at the core of the spin is the black hole. And guess what? Earth is from the hole. This is a fact. The ancient Egyptians knew this thousands of years ago, and you can find it in text today. Why have you not been taught this so you can think critically for yourself? Because schooling is about indoctrination, being told or guided into how and what to think. Only a few people can keep their minds, God-given minds, above the water, so to speak, of this forced indoctrination. This is why they want your children at school at a young age. For example, I saw a busload of 6 and 7 year olds being marched into a NASA expedition in London a few years back. The expedition was full of nothing but rickety old junk, but it is the story they spin to these young kids that will influence their future beliefs. Within a few years, the God-given minds of most of these children will have been destroyed. They will lose their own natural ability to think logically and rationally. Their only knowledge will be pre-programmed into them. Back to the black hole. The black hole is at the centre of the Milky Way, not only near its core centre, but lengthwise, because both ends, either side of the Sun and its black hole, are the two converging forces. One is considered male and the other female. One side is Mercury, male, and the other, Mercury or Hermes, and the other, Hermes in the mythological stories, and the other is Venus, female. All the mythological stories are about these two pairing, male and female. Kind of remind you of the physical world. Only the ignorant ignore the term as above, so below. So all these myths and all religions, all about up there, the non-physical. We're down here in what we perceive as a physical form, a projection of the nucleus up there. Each star is a nucleus for our image. But what we have to understand is one end of the Milky Way mirrors the other, but still male and female. Talked about this in earlier videos. And this is what we see happening between the two hemispheres of Earth. Hence why we are taught the Sun is seen in the ecliptic plane, that celestial gap above the equator. But there is a lot more to the story than what one thinks. So you got there's the Earth. That's the flat Earth design, like a bread, isn't it? The Bible talks about the bread. You got the tropical gap here. Okay, that tropical gap. These two forces here replicate these two forces spinning together. One coming up here, one going in there, spinning together to create the black hole in the Sun, where they meet. Bang. That's creation. This is the blown up image in our realm. It works the same thing. This is the void. This is the black hole. The dielectric, the neutral. When we see the Milky Way at night, that is a projected image of the back of the back at creation, where the two forces are constant. They're constantly coming together here, and we get this picture, all the stars and everything out here. We get it all out in our night sky. So you look up in our night sky and we'll see a picture of the Milky Way. And you see both the fields, don't you? Male and female. Because it's just an image from in here. It's this nighttime image, all projected into our night sky backdrop. We'll see both male and female here, and they'll see both male and female there in their nighttime. Okay? Only because it's a projected image from creation. During the day, it's different. They're mirrored effects, and they're coming together like this. The sun comes out of the southeast, the sun comes out of the northeast, and they swing around and go west, like this. You've got to be a deep thinker to understand all this. Okay, when we see the Milky Way at night, that is a projected image of the back of creation, where the two forces are constant. No matter which hemisphere you are observing from, we will see both ends of the Milky Way merging at what science calls Sagittarius A. That is the back of the Sun and the black hole. But during the day, when we do not see the core of creation, the path of the Sun is split between the two hemispheres in a mirror effect. This is due to the magic of the tropical gap. This mirror or polished shield effect is described in the Greek so-called mythological story of Perseus and Medusa. I've just done a video on that, okay? Check out my video I did regarding this, these two. And this gap in the tropical area here is all described in the Iliad. That's what the whole story is about. But common man just sees a battle, a Trojan battle, but it's all about that. You got the Achaeans and the Trojans, haven't you? In Troy, or at Troy. Now we need to understand that the tropical gap is our earthly realm image of the black hole. Each side of the tropics are the two forces of nature coming together, but avoiding each other. They avoid each other. See, they're spinning around like this to avoid. They don't cross. The magnetic field does not cross the tropics. Okay? This comes around, avoiding this side too. You know a bit about science or your physics, you should understand that. In other words, they don't quite meet due to the dielectric of the tropical gap. Just like the black hole. It is at rest, fixed and stationary. And where did I say Earth was from? The black hole. Fixed and stationary. The black hole, fixed and stationary. You can refer back to Perseus and Medusa to realise that the Greeks knew this way back then. There is no magnetic field in the tropics. The build-up of the magnetic field is at either side of the tropics. Hence why we get a direct north-south compass bearing. When outside of the tropics, the Earth's magnetic field curves. Guess where they get the curved linear coordinate system from? Or at least these silly terms. It is all related to the curving magnetic field of the Earth's torus, the toroidal field. But up until I arrived on the scene, Lindsay Harris, no one has known about the break in the field and the duality of our system. Who has seen the video of the sailors filming the ocean as they sail into the tropical zone? They show the ocean waves of one hemisphere meeting the flat, calm surface of the sea in the tropics. That's all I've written down there. So you might want to watch the video again to understand what I'm saying. But you have to have the flat earth image in your mind or in front of you to understand it. You've got a magnetic field coming in off the earth. There's the female in here, see? The big hole. Then you've got the male coming up into it. The male is the electromagnetic force created between the two dielectric capacitor plates. The electromagnetic force. That's a male entity. And all this is created from the gaseous atmosphere as the rising molecule, hydrogen molecule, comes out of the earth. This is why probably some mythological stories lead people to think that we've come up out of the earth. Male comes up out of the earth. The hydrogen molecule comes up out of the earth. So you could say all life comes up out of there. If you wanted to. Well, females coming out of there too. You've got the male coming up here. And it changes its states as it goes through ionization to rise up and expand and expand and expand, get shredded, and then it reforms this pairing here which feed into the sun. At the same time feed the black hole, because the black hole is balance. There's a balance going on, resting state. So you can correlate this with the state of man's mind. He needs to be in the same resting state to reach enlightenment. Sort of. There's many ways to go through enlightenment. There's the near-death experiences a lot of people have gone through, and they come out the other end knowing all the stuff, or a lot of it. One of them in particular was talking about, we have to go, we all live in these pods. He says, all these pods scattered across the earth. Well, he's referring to man's arc of horizon. We all have our own arc of horizons. Another lady just straight out says, well, Earth's flat. I know it's flat. She knew the whole thing. So I can relate to those people. So there you have it, everybody. It's the magnetic cycle of the Earth. It's a recycling system. Closed system. This is one aspect of the bread, or the toroidal field. This is like a southern hemisphere winter, where the field shrunk down or down into a mente, and the north has come up. Then this will come back up to equilibrium, and then go above this area. This northern vortex will sink down inside it, and then that will be the southern hemisphere summer. This is currently the northern hemisphere summer. And this is how it works. It pulsates over the year. There's lots of actions going on, monthly, yearly, and so on. All the celestial bodies are in here. As they turn in this vortex, and night falls out here in our realm, we see this turning across our realm, passing over man's individual arc of horizon. I've gone over all this. It cannot be debunked. I've got the ancients to back me up, and nobody can debunk it. All you'll get is these silly scientists coming in with all their data and all their BS that means nothing at the end of the day. When you just throw a couple of things here that are observable, provable, they're stumped. But they'll ignore it and then keep throwing all these silly equations and scientific tests they've done, but they're not in the right space. They're not right in the head, basically. They're not looking at the right picture. They've got this bald picture. See the globe comes about by the two hemispheres of the flat earth system. You've got the southern rotation and you have the northern rotation, and they're mirrored and they spin around like this together. Okay? So as they're spinning around, the south is going all the way around the north like this. Well, actually one full rotation all the way around the northern rotation, because that's mirrored out. Okay? Those are the two hemispheres, and every man has one on his line of meridian. So that's his north and southern hemisphere. Nothing goes below his arc of horizon though. That's all he sees, is that. Nothing goes down here. It just goes out of his perspective. But plenty of videos on that, guys. So if you appreciate stuff like this, be sure to subscribe, like, and hook up with my Patreon. Help me out, and you get a lot more information through there, and you'll get it before it goes public for the rest of the videos. Cheers. Thanks for watching.